Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. And before we enter into our worship time, I do have a few announcements, okay? First of all, if you have a child between 5 and 7 years old, consider attending an information session on our popular OWL program. And it will be held after the service on Sunday, July 13th. And you can get more information from Gal Whitmer, who I don't see, she's not here, but also by emailing owl, O-W-L, at uucy.org, and there's going to be something in the beacon. Also, we had a generational circle this past Wednesday, and we're going to have some more during the Wednesdays. They're spin-offs of the friendship circles that we're going to be talking about today, but these are for all ages. We had games and crafts, and we did some social justice activities. Our Congolese family that some of us are getting to know and help were here, and they loved it. So there's going to be a Beacon article, and you can sign up there, and it'll be on July 16th from 4 to 7. Okay. So now that we've addressed our business, let's turn our attention to worship. My name is Carol Stowell, and I'm one of your 3 worship associates today, also Diane Kearney and Donna Alcorn. For those of you who are new to us, Unitarian ministers take the summer off. They get a couple months off, and I think that's a great thing to renew themselves. And so around the country, UU churches have lay-led services, and this is one, and we'll also have some guest speakers. And then our minister will be back in mid to late August, sometime there. Okay. So, my pronouns are she, her, and as I said, I'm one of your worship associates today. Whoever you are, whoever you love, we are glad your faith journey has brought you to this circle today. The mission of this congregation is to nurture a loving community, to inspire lifelong spiritual and personal growth, and to act for a better world. We welcome all of you joining us in person or online. And if you are joining us for the first time, we invite you to visit our visitor's desk that's out here, or send an email to visitor@uucy.org. We invite you to bring your whole self into this sanctuary space. If you're here in the sanctuary, please remember to put your little things that we all now connect to constantly on worship mode, okay, or quiet. And so that we can mark this time made sacred by our presence, let's just take a deep breath. And now we will light the chalice, and as we light the chalice, the symbol of our living tradition, we are also invited to light a chalice in your own space if you're watching us on Zoom. Our chalice lighting words are from James Villa Blake. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Blessed be. Robert.
So today's hymn we're using for the centering music, and I have to tell you, we're using the lyrics to number 307, although the melody is a different melody, but you'll recognize it. So I also encourage you to sing out, drown me out, because I'm having issues with allergies today. So, but we will all get centered anyway. Okay? Denise is going to play the melody one time through, just so you can get familiar with it, so you can recognize it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diane Kearney, and I'm so happy to see everybody here today. Woodrow Wilson once said, "Friendship is the only cement that will hold the world together." I think it is safe to say that all of us here come to UUCY looking not only for spiritual enrichment, but also for friendship and community. A deep sense of community will only develop and flourish when meaningful relationships are fostered and nurtured. She agrees. Over the last many years, I kept hearing from people here that though our coffee hours are enjoyable and participating in church activities help us know one another, what people were really looking for was small group opportunities to know one another on a deeper level, one that lent itself to fostering a more caring and meaningful community. And that is how circles were born. Friendship circles were born. Carol and I started dreaming of a way to make this happen. We recalled how we used to have circle dinners for this purpose, but without a leader for each circle, the circles met once and were done. We also noted that full-course dinners might prohibit people with smaller homes or people who did not like to cook from participating. So we came up with a new model and called them friendship circles, since the focus was on friendship building and not on dinner. We decided the circle should ideally include 12 to 14 people and hoped there would be sufficient interest to have 6 circles. We recruited 6 hosts, 1 for each circle, and explained to the hosts that their job was to ensure the circles gathered 6 times between September and May, and that each gathering offered a meaningful way for members to get to know one another on a deeper level. This usually took place through round-robin discussions on various topics. Each participant of the friendship circles was asked to commit to attend as many gatherings as possible and to bring an appetizer or dessert and a beverage to share at each gathering. We advertised the concept last summer, invited all who were interested to sign up for a circle, and by mid-September we had 6 full circles. Carol and I were thrilled with this incredible level of interest and felt certain we had indeed met a need within our community. As the year progressed, we also discovered that each circle could comfortably expand, thereby offering a welcoming and small group opportunity to new members and visiting friends to give them an opportunity to get connected right away. At this point, we are looking to recruit possibly one more host, so if you like warm friendships and you want to help make them happen, please let myself or Carol know. There's also the opportunity to co-host with another person if that's more to your liking. Many circles meet in the hosts' homes, but some gather right here in the carriage house. If there is sufficient interest, this year we might create a friendship circle for those who would prefer to meet at a restaurant. Over 70 members participated in the friendship circles last year. That's a full 1/3 of our membership. So we are going to do it again. After the service, if you would like to join a friendship circle for this upcoming year, there will be sign-up sheets at the back of the sanctuary. As the summer proceeds, circles will be created, and then the hosts will call the first gathering for sometime in September. In conclusion, community is a place where connections are fostered, relationships are built over time, and support is offered. Consider signing up for a friendship circle and be part of strengthening our beloved UUCY community.
Thank you, Diane. Now, I want to know who in this room was in a friendship circle. Put your hand up or say, look around. Look around. Quite a few of you. And we're hoping this time next year, maybe all the hands will be up. You never know. You know, it's not a huge commitment, and it's a nice way to get to know a smaller group of this community.
So, good morning. Yeah, so I'm Plan B. So I'm here with a sermon in the raw this morning, just to forewarn you. And I'm going to tell you how circles, elephants, and Joni Mitchell revealed their message on the gift of community with me last evening while reflecting on a few threads to share today on longing for and belonging in community. Beginning with a few thoughts on circles. Lately, I find a lot of my doodling. I'm trying to be an artist, maybe in my next life, but I'm practicing in this one. And I noticed that my doodling contains a lot of circles. There are circles upon circles, and circles connecting, and circles overlapping, standing alone, and yet there's a thread that connects each of these circles. And some of the circles have smaller ones on the outside, and others have circles on the inside. This repetition, at first glance, seems meaningless. But slowly, as I sat and gazed at one of my doodles, a story slowly unfurled. I recognized these circles, for they are the givers of life. They are life-changing, life-sustaining. They spiral outwards and curl inwards. They depict for me the cyclical nature and blueprint of life. I am reminded in these circles that we all share the same beginnings as small, curled up bundles of beingness. And if we're lucky, we are dropped out into the world and into the arms of a loving and secure family circle. And if not so fortunate, we are mysteriously guided and somehow innately wired to seek out that auntie, that close neighbor, or maybe a grandma living up the street who provides just enough of those moments of security and bonding to feel a sense of belonging. As we move through life, our circle of friends often shift and change. We build communities with others throughout our careers. There's a constant ebb and flow in many of our relationships. Also, how we show up within these circles of community will fluctuate. At times, we are quite extroverted, and at other times, more introverted, taking our time to find our way and place within community. And it's really all okay. Our presence is a gift to one another. As the poet Rumi said, we are all just walking each other home. Elephants. They are simply the most exquisite teachers on love, devotion, friendship, and the strength and the protection that community provides in a sometimes hostile and wobbly world. I am really embarrassed to admit that I spend hours lately looking at videos following the lives of a group of elephants and their caretakers on a wildlife preserve in Africa. Last week, there was a video that brought you into an intimate exchange between the elephants and the caretakers. A female elephant gently wrapped her trunk around a female caretaker's arm and led her to a covered area where the caretaker sat and began to sing to the elephants. The elephants gathered all around her and then added their own voices to the humming and the lullabies that she was singing. It was really a transported moment for me, for singing is powerful medicine for the heart and the soul. It is a healing balm for creating a sense of belonging. And that brings me to Joni Mitchell and back to circles. Joni Mitchell wrote a song in 1966 for a friend, Neil Young, who at the time was 21 years old and he was experiencing some change in his circle of friends and feeling a little lost. She wrote it to provide some comfort and hope. And I think most of you know this song, The Circle Game. And I leave you with the chorus refrain. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. And now I'd like to invite, we have some wonderful speakers here this morning to offer testimonials. And our first speaker I'd like to invite up is Peggy Baker.
My name is Peggy Baker, and I was supposed to wear yellow today because I'm the host of the Yellow Circle, but I forgot. So here I am. I've always said that the best way to get to know people in this church is to join a committee. Something about working with other people helps you get to know them better. And so I always try to be on at least one committee or task force or THRE, be on the board, something, because you get to know people better. And well, of course, you're also doing a service at church, not a service. You're helping serve the community, and you're getting to know what's going on in the community. So it's a good thing from that way. But just selfishly, I have reaped more than I've sown there in being on committees. The people that are here today and always are just fabulous, interesting people. And getting to know them better benefits me. So I highly recommend, if you're not already on a committee or a task force or something, to get yourself on one. But in addition, another way to get to know even more people, if you want to get to know even more people, are friendship circles. And I also highly recommend those. So I've been asked to tell what it's like to be a host of one of the circles. It really couldn't be easier. Our circle, we meet at the carriage house, so I don't have to clean my house. Some circles rotate who each member hosts a different one, and if that's what you want, good for you, but I don't like cleaning my house. So we just meet at the carriage house. All I bring is a few extra forks, because the carriage house has some, but not enough for our group. Cups. I borrow napkins, cloth napkins from the kitchen here, and I bring a tablecloth. And a covered dish, because ours meets from 6 to 8 on Thursday nights. And a lot of circles just do appetizers, and that's very easy, but you can also easily do a covered dish dinner, and that way you don't have to go home at 8 o'clock and cook. So, you can just bring like cheese and crackers, or buy a relish tray at the grocery store or whatever, bag of chips, it doesn't matter, because the food is not the point. The point is, after we gather and everybody puts their stuff on the dining room table, we all fill our plates and sit down and balance the plates on our knee. And then I've usually prepared a question to get everybody talking. And so I ask the question, and if I'm smart, I send it in an email ahead of time so they can think about the answer. And then we go one by one around the room, and people answer the question. And then a very lively, interesting discussion ensues, and we get to know each other better. We've had questions like, at Thanksgiving, what are you thankful for? At New Year's, it was, what are some of your goals for the new year? One time I asked, because I wanted to know, how do you deal with family members in your extended family and neighbors who are right-wing Christian, trying to convert you type people? Interesting answers there. One time we had, you list 3 things about yourself on a little index card that nobody knows, and then go around the room, and we all tried to guess who you were. So I think this next season coming up, I'm going to let the participants pick a question each time, so it's not always me. But anyway, so then at the end, I don't like disposable stuff, so we have to do dishes. But somebody always jumps in and helps to do the dishes. And by 8:15, we're out of there. And meanwhile, the benefits to me are, well, I can bring my spouse. He doesn't come here very often. He's not a UU. But a lot of us bring our spouses to the friendship circle, so you get to know more people. I've gotten advice on who to use for a new roof, who to use for a new air conditioner, learned about Michigan, learned about rocks that glow in the dark. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And last night I didn't have to cook because we had sloppy joes left over from the May circle dinner. So in addition to getting to know 11 people a whole lot better, just by meeting 6 times and bringing 1 covered dish, I just really enjoy it. Highly recommend. If you want to meet in the carriage house, you do have to clear it through Sarah to make sure that the time you want is booked. So the first circle, and I think you'll all do this, the first time you meet in September or October, whatever, you bring all your calendars and pick the next 6 dates. And that way you can reserve it with Sarah ahead of time, which 6 dates you want. And what we did really worked out well. We picked some snow dates in like January, February, and that way if we needed to push it off to a snow date, it was already reserved. And somebody in your group needs to have a key, and that person needs to come first and let everybody else in. But really, it was so easy peasy, and I would do it again, and I am going to do it again. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I really am Rita Van Wyck, even though I'm not dressed in purple or maroon red. I'm dressed in orange because I am pleased, I'm thrilled to be part of the Orange Friendship Circle. I want to tell you how this came about. One Sunday morning after the service, we were milling around in the lobby, as we do, and Diane was talking about the Friendship Circle, and I thought, you know, should we try this? And I had a little bit of hesitance, which I would not admit to anybody in the world except my trusted UU friends, because I like to project an image of, you know, this resolute, confident, do I look like I give a rat's, you know what, you know. But in fact, there's always a little bit of insecurity because, you know, I'm a human being. So I'm like thinking, oh, you know, I'm getting so old, I'm getting so boring. Why would I ever join a friendship circle? They're not going to like me. And then I learned, then I applied a really good thing that I learned in my former career, and I reversed that. What's the flip side of that? And the flip side meant to me, will there be people that I reject? Will there be people that I can't accept? And I thought, you know, just go to one of these friendship circles, whatever I don't know what that means, and see what it's like. Now, UUs have never made me sign in blood that I will do something for the rest of my life. It's not our style. So I can try it once, and if I don't like it, fine. My husband was immediately agreeable to give it a try, and we wound up with Tom and Diane Kearney. We were delighted to hear that all we needed to do was bring an appetizer and a dessert, because those are interesting things, way more interesting than making an entree. And so we went. And I still had misgivings. I walked in there and I thought, okay, I am literally the oldest person in this group. And then the first person that I saw was this really charming young person, really young. She had just had a baby. And I thought, well, she's not going to talk to me. I'm old enough to be her great-grandmother. And within minutes, Riley and I were talking like friends. I noticed in the group there was a man that I had worked with for many, many years, and I liked him. I still like him, and I respect him, and I enjoy talking to him, and I never get to see him, and I'm like, oh, good, you know, he's going to be at these dinners, and I can talk to Greg. Plus, I used to go to yoga with Rowena, and I never get to talk to her, or if I talk to her, it's like half a minute long, and then something else happens here. You know, when you socialize in the lobby, it's very limited. But the friendship circle gives us that opportunity to linger and, you know that those 2 hours are set aside for us. I liked everybody that I saw there, and strangely, they seemed to like me. They were nice and kind and welcoming towards me. So it made me do one of my favorite things. I Googled, I looked up, I researched, what does friendship mean? English is not my primary tongue. And, you know, the translation vriendskap does not necessarily mean the same in Afrikaans as friendship means in English, so I looked it up. And Mr. Google offered me a few different definitions, and this is the one that I liked so much that I printed it out to share with you. Friendship definition psychology. In psychology, friendship is defined as a voluntary, long-lasting relationship between two or more people characterized by mutual affection, concern, and shared experiences. Friendships involve a degree of interdependence and are typically marked by intimacy, commitment, and a sense of belonging. They provide emotional and social benefits, contributing to overall well-being. It then elaborates a little bit, and I'm not going to read all of that because I know other people need to have a chance to talk, but I'm going to single out my absolutely favorite. The little headings are, like emotional and social benefits, intimacy and commitment, stuff like that. My favorite, sense of belonging. Friendships contribute a feeling of belonging and social connection, which is a fundamental human need. As a person with a troubled childhood in which I was not welcomed into any inner circle, believe me, this Orange Friendship Circle has been just so wonderful for me. I am delighted that it survived and grew and is growing, and those of you who have any kind of inclination to do it, even if you have a misgiving or two, you are interesting, we want to get to know you. Come along and spend 2 hours, once a month with us, and see how you like it. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Or Bethany. Oh, Bethany's coming over. Oh, I thought that was coming. All right, perfect, Bethany.
Good morning. For those of you who don't meet, I'm Ed's wife. My name is Bethany Slapinski, and I was asked to share our experience with also the Orange Circle and what it was meant to us to get re-engaged actually with UUCY. Ed and I both came to UUCY at different times in our lives. I came in 2012 when I was looking for meaning and connection. I was at a point in my life where I really needed that. I got involved in the Social Justice Committee where I met people like Carol and Steve. And Ed started at UU much earlier. I think he was started in 2004 when his children, Jake and Audrey, were young. And he was looking for a space where they could learn about different faiths in an open-minded environment. He stayed involved for years. Ed was involved in the finance committee for a very long time and was at men's group for several years. But like many, we got completely disconnected during COVID. We quit coming to services. We did a couple of the online services, but we hadn't actually been to the church since we've rejoined through the Friendship Circle. We would run into people across town and see them out and about, but it just wasn't the same as being part of the community. When I got Carol's email about the Friendship Circle, it felt like a gentle, low-pressure way to reconnect with the community. The small group setting made it really easy to break through that awkward, where have you guys been for years, and get back to real conversations and shared stories. It really reminded us of what we had missed being part of the congregation. At our first Friendship Circle, I even had a very small world moment. Diane leads the Orange Circle, and her husband Tom, when I first stepped into the house, said, "Hey, do you know a Jim Slapinski?" I said, "Well, yes, that's actually my grandfather. How do you know Jim Slapinski?" Tom had actually worked for my grandfather when he was a teenager at Boy Scout camp. It's just amazing how the Friendship Circle reconnected us through UU, but it also our lives are interwoven in ways we don't even know. Since joining the Friendship Circle, we've made it back to several services, not every Sunday, but we are showing up, and it does feel really good. Not to attend, but just to walk in and recognize faces, to know that we're part of something again. The Friendship Circle helps to remind us why we wanted to be connected to each other in the first place. So we personally want to thank everybody who helped make the Friendship Circles happen. It's been really good for us to get reconnected, and we're grateful to be back at UU. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Just to let you know, we're going to go do the offering now, and then we are going to break into little friendship circles. We're going to be having you move your chairs and sharing in a small group setting here towards the end. But right now, we're going into our offertory, and we invite you into generosity as we collect our weekly offering. Each week, we commit to share our offering with a community organization that upholds our values. Our Share the Partner for June is Friends and Neighbors. This organization, which just operates in York, has a mission to create change by boldly applying best practices and innovative solutions to stubborn problems that hurt our communities and prevent opportunities. Homelessness is a stubborn problem, one that is complex, multidimensional, and long-standing. It also requires the collective support of multiple service systems in the community that extend beyond housing. Friends and Neighbors maintains a coordinated street outreach team to provide direct support and resources to unhoused individuals, as well as a stable housing collaborative that meets regularly to discuss ways to increase housing security in York County. Their website is fnofpa.org. And now the ushers are collecting that offering. And if this is your first time visit, well, the offering has been collected. Great job. And now we're going to hear one of our favorite songs. Ta-da, go for it.
And I am all alone. There is no one here beside me, and my problems have all gone. There is no one to deride me, but you got to have friends. The feelings are so strong. You got to have friends to make that day last long. I had some friends, but they're gone. Someone came and took them away, and from the dusk till the dawn, here is where I'll stay, standing at the end of the
All right, so you're ready. We're going to move into friendship circles. Why wait till the fall? Let's get a little taste of it right now. So how we're going to do it, we have 6 rows. We sort of set the sanctuary up specifically with shifting into friendship circles. So rows 1, 3, and Peggy's sitting in 3, and row 5, which I believe Steve is in row 5. And then on this side, we'll have Carol's in row 1, Sherry is in row 3, and who's in row 5 back there? Is that Beth? Who's Beth is in? Okay. Anyway, Leslie. Okay. So what we're going to do is have rows 1, 3, and 5. You're going to turn your chairs around to face rows 2, 4, and 6. All right? Hello? Hello? Hi there. Woo. Well, this is fabulous. I'm so glad there's so much conversation. And I am, glad for the conversation, lively. I know the voices are bouncing off the walls here, something we need to remember going forward. But what a joyful time. Yeah, just coming into conversation. So this is just a little taste of what it's like to journey over the year in a friendship circle. And certainly this morning you can continue your conversations outside during coffee hour. So anyway, I don't want to keep you. You may have plans this Sunday, so we're going to enter into extinguishing the chalice, and for those at home, extinguishing their chalice or candle from home. With these words by Wayne Arneson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone.
Well, I think with nobody wanting to really end their friendship circle, that it shows how powerful they are and how enjoyable they are. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to do this. As we move to the end of our service this morning, let us be joyful and grateful for the warm friendships we have at UUCY. Let us grow these friendships in an even wider circle through our friendship circles. As our service concludes, please listen to a special parting song about friendship I think most everyone will recognize from the very popular Cheers TV show of the 80s and 90s. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiancé didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see the troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead. The morning's looking bright, and your shrink ran off to Europe and didn't even write. And your husband wants to be a girl,